Welcome, all you entertainment holics out there in radio and television land. It is time yet again for another thrilling, exciting installment of, you guessed it, Wicked Entertaining, coming at you live every week on Rock Rage Radio. We are syndicated on the following: iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Audible, Spreaker, Podbean, Blog Talk Radio, and a bunch of other sites. We are also on YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram TV. We are distributed by Sony Music Entertainment, Sony Music Publishing, The Orchard by Sony, Art19, BMG, and 50/50 Global Music Incorporated. I am your host, Jennifer DeVoe Muse. We have several other really awesome hosts. I'm Jenny, and then we have the Muse. So together we're Jenny and the Muse. We also have radio host and producer Greg Coster. We've got Amy Bowman, the sultry songstress. We've got Shyler Staver, the Mac Daddy of metal, and of course, actor, producer, and fitness trainer Derek Webb. All together, we make up Wicked Entertaining. But today, we're on a lovely journey across the pond to our wonderful, amazing friend Baz Francis.
Hello, beautiful. I would like to think that we're more than friends these days.
I'm just kidding. He's my brothers.
I have missed the bones of you.
Right back at you.
The last time I saw you was a couple of days before I came back here, and I had broken both my arms the night before, and I was in a very sorry state, and my right elbow looked like a tennis ball.
It did.
And you came over with JJ, and you made me feel a lot better. So I wanted to say this to you today. Thank you, and I love you, because the impact of your company that day was something that helped me through a very unpleasant time. And as I mentioned before off air, I had to heal naturally because of COVID, and I couldn't get to a doctor, so I was in a lot of pain for a couple of months, and you were one of the beacons of hope during that time. So
thank you. You know we love you.
Ditto.
We're talking to Baz over here in England.
I'm in Windsor, which is the focus of the world's media today, because of a certain funeral taking place here next week. So we have a communications mast and a whole load of barriers all around. So
I saw her body is being moved from Scotland.
It is, and it's, I mean, mostly in this town and near Buckingham Palace, but it's just pandemonium here. They've closed roads, there's police everywhere, barricades. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. So, a lot of people are travelling in to be here, and this just happens to be where I'm at the moment. So I'm just pretending that they're all coming to see me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of flowers around. A lot of flowers.
I bet. The Queen Mum.
Well, the Queen...
She's passed on.
The Queen Mum was actually her mum. So she's the one that died 20 years ago. And, yeah... So Camilla's not queen, but Charles is king. Anyway, I'm not a royalist.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't wish any harm upon them, but I'm not going to feign an interest in the monarchy.
Yeah. I don't really care about that either.
I don't agree with people celebrating the death of an old lady. I don't think that's called for.
Yeah.
But again, we all have elderly relatives, and if people are going to lay flowers for the Queen, but abandoning elderly relatives who are lonely in some residential care home, then I think there's a big issue with
Yeah, I
that.
agree.
Yeah, I agree. But we're not here to talk about that.
No, we're here to
No, we're
talk
here to
about
talk about
you.
you.
So how's
So how's
everything been
everything been
going
going
music
music
wise?
wise? It's going really well. I have been uh, playing shows over here. This year I've played in 4 countries: um, England, Finland, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. And I'm actually coming out to America to play West Coast dates in December. So I was going to speak to you about this later, but I might as well tell you now. If you happen to be SoCal way Christmas time, do you?
I'm not
I'm not
sure,
sure,
but I'm gonna
but I'm gonna
try.
try. Okay. I I was just putting that out there. I'm playing. You're actually the first person I'm telling this to. I'm playing in Seattle in December, and I'm just booking my tour right now. And the plan is to be back in my other home for a month and spend the holidays out there. Um, because as you will understand this probably better than anyone else I know, having that sense of home in 2 places that happen to be far apart means that you always have a sense of longing and missing for something. When we were both in LA, you were missing your family in Maine, and I was missing my family in England, and now I'm in England, I'm missing my family in Maine and LA. So it's
Yeah.
just that cat and mouse game, but such is life, and that's the beauty of this, is that through traveling and trying new things and moving around, we meet people we wouldn't have met had we just stayed where we started.
Very
Very
true.
true. I thank my lucky stars that I came to Sherman Oaks that day.
Me too.
Me too. And it was very who would have who would have thought it? But
I know.
I know. All these years later, but so that's what's going on with me. I've just released my new EP, Wake to the Morning, and I'm just working on finishing 2 more singles, and I have been contributing vocals to several records that are coming out very soon. So, yeah,
Very nice.
very nice. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So I I don't know how much I can say about that one though, because it's
Right.
not right. They're not my records, but it was very exciting, and I was asked to be in the studio, and I ended up contributing to 11 songs that will be um, available in different formats around Christmas through maybe March. So that it's exciting, and um, after I before I saw you last, I recorded vocals for one of my favourite bands, the Wild Hearts, and and then after I came back, that record got released, which was very exciting. Um, so yeah, I've been keeping busy and keeping active, and as you can tell from my American plans this fall, America is still very much part of my life, and playing there is as well. So
I need to
Need
get
to
you on
get
an
you on
East
an
Coast
East Coast
tour.
tour.
we do, because if Christmas doesn't happen for us, I gotta see you. I gotta see you. And I was thinking of you last week because two of my favourite bands were playing in Bangor, Maine.
Which
Which
ones?
ones?
Aerosmith with Extreme opening for them.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw the poster. It said Bangor, Maine, and I'm like, we have a banger in the UK as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
a
our
lot of our
stuff
stuff
mimics
mimics
yours.
yours.
yeah, and yeah, I mean that's the case.
That's why it's
That's
called
why it's
New
called New
England.
England.
Yeah, I don't think the English can take credit for San Francisco and Los Angeles, but
That's the other
That's the other
coast.
coast.
that might be stretching it. But
Yeah, but
you've
Yeah,
got
but
New
New
England is
England is
almost like
almost
a
like a
representation
yeah.
of
of
England.
England.
I there's but I was in a town. It's spelt slightly differently, but I was in a town around here the other day called Reading, and of course there's a Reading in California, and
There's one in
There's one in
Brentwood,
Pennsylvania too.
yes, and and also Brentwood, which is next to where I lived in LA. That's named after a place in London, so not far from here. So there's lots of these connections, and they just remind you of
Hold
how
on.
badly the British.
My
My
mic
mic isn't.
isn't. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
For some
Yes.
For
reason,
some reason now I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
Have mercy.
One
One
second.
second.
That's all right.
What the hell?
I'm like, how am I not able to hear anything
now?
Oh,
Oh,
one second.
Technical difficulties.
If I was standing, I would tap dance.
Come
Come
on.
on.
All right.
All right.
Hold that thought. Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Why can't
Why can't I hear you now?
What the
What the
hell?
hell?
Mm.
Stupid shit.
Oh,
Oh, that thought.
Come
on.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Okay.
We're back. Stupidness.
Well, I'm
Well, I'm glad that you're doing well out there.
I might
I might
have
good news.
We're
We're looking at James's child support.
we
We
might
be able to
get
get passports.
Ooh.
Hopefully
within the next 6 months or more.
Just gotta
Just
get
something
finagled,
finagled,
and then
and then
I want us
I want us to go and visit you.
That would be incredible. I'm actually just about to move to the south coast, and it's just glorious there. So I would love it dearly if you came to see me in my new abode. And just want to say hello to Rick, who's tuning in Michigan.
What's up, Rick?
I'm glad that you can hear us both.
So why
So
don't you tell people a little bit more about yourself? For your
career-wise.
In case you don't know who I am, my name is Baz Francis. I was in the band Mansion Harlots, and I am still in the band Magic 8 Ball. I'm also a solo artist. I've guested on a lot of other people's records and stages, and I have played all over the world, and released a bunch of records as well. And I met Jen when I was a guest on LA Talk Radio over in Sherman Oaks. And then circumstances changed and I came back to England. Jen went over to Maine, but we still have deep rooted connections with Los Angeles and a great love for each other wherever we go. And that
Amen.
is me.
You were
You
in
were
my
in my
inspiration
inspiration
to move
to
back to
move back to
Maine.
Maine.
Was I?
Yes.
Yes.
You
You
going back
going
to
back to
England
England
gave me
gave me
the
the
strength
strength
to make the
to
hard
make the hard
decision.
decision.
And then
And then I
approached
approached
the
the
Muse
Muse
about
about
doing that.
doing that.
I really
I
didn't
really
think
didn't
that he
think
would
that he would
ever
ever
sign
sign
off on
off on
moving
moving
from Los
from Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
Well, I'm touched. I have to say I've been sort of struggling with a bit of guilt over that time we said our goodbye in LA because I could tell that you were reaching out to me and I didn't feel like I was giving you enough of my support in that moment and I just wanted to clarify that I was with two broken arms and 2 days away from moving back. I was so preoccupied. I literally didn't have any more to give, and I just felt really guilty that I couldn't have been more supportive to you at that time.
Don't feel
Don't
that
feel
way.
that way.
Because you came over to see me in Downey, and I was broken down in more ways than one, and you were such a comfort to me, and I could tell that you were going through a transition yourself, and and we and I got back here, um, and one thing that was very important to me, and we have obviously been in constant contact, but it was to let the people I love in America know that just because I got on a plane doesn't mean that I love them any less. And you messaged me, and I was in Prague. This is back in March. And I said something to you that was sort of true, sort of untrue, but it was my way of dealing with it. And I said, you said, I miss you. And I said, I don't miss you because I take you with me everywhere I go. And I didn't know how that comment landed with you. I thought you might have thought that I was being a dick and saying, I don't miss you. But I was trying to sort of say, I don't want to think about missing you because that's, I've gotten so used to being apart from people I love because of the lifestyle I lead. And I couldn't process missing you at that time. And I remember I was in um, I was in the Czech Republic, and this is actually a nice story. Um, for anyone watching, my band Magic 8 Ball opened for Blind Melon in Pasadena three
I
years
know
ago.
I know them.
You know
I know
them.
Brad
I know Brad
Smith.
Smith.
I'm friends with
Friends
Oh,
with
cool.
Brad
with
and him.
Brad and
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Well, Jen and JJ came to see us, and also a friend of mine who I met in where was it? San Jose, California. Although she's from Munich, Germany, she drove down from San Jose to come and see me in Pasadena that night. So you were in the same room as my friend Claudia. So I got the show booked in Prague back in March or whatever it was. And Claudia, who's now living in Munich, she drove with her boyfriend to come see me in Prague as well.
That's a real
So
That's a real
friend.
friend.
it was a lovely, lovely thing to do, and we're trying to organise seeing each other again. But I remember exactly where I was when I sent you that message about not missing you. I was I was with Claudia, and I was just by the river at sunset, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I thought it's so nice to have to have Jim with me. You know, like just to have to be in your thoughts. And another one of my dear friends from LA had messaged me earlier that day, and of course I let the people know that I love them when I do. And anyway, I heard from her recently on one of my trips, and I messaged her and I was like, oh, it's so great to hear from you. And then I didn't hear back from her for a few weeks. So I chased up on her to go, hey, is everything all right? I didn't hear from her for another few weeks. And then I saw a post on Facebook. The day after she wrote to me, she passed away. And that is why I didn't hear from her again.
I'm so
I'm so
sorry for your
sorry for your
loss.
loss.
Thank you, darling. And yeah, it hurt. But it gave me some comfort to know that one of the last people she spoke to was someone who was very vocal about his love for her. And and that is the importance of always keeping people in your thoughts, letting them know you love them if you do, visiting that elderly relative in a nursing home if they're there. It's all very well and good laying flowers for a stranger, but we all have lonely people in our lives. And I know for a fact that you've been one of those people, and I know for a fact that I've been one of those people. We're all human beings, and we we can't avoid the inevitable. So when you said to me, "Hey, I've got a new show," I said, "Let's do this. Let's talk. Let's let's catch up because it's a friendship. It isn't. It's an evolution. You know,
You're
I
not a friend,
wasn't.
You're
you're
not a friend,
family.
you're family.
Well, and ditto, but I couldn't think of a word for a family ship. So,
It's family
It's
ship.
family ship.
our family ship. We'll use that. It it's an evolution, and I'm not. And I got back here, and I would have people say, "Oh, I've missed you so much. I've missed you so much. Let's do something." Okay, let's do something. And they never would. They were all talk. Anyone can do that. And people say to me, "Do I miss America?" And I'm like, "Well, elements, yeah, but I spend half my time incommunicado with my American family. I'm going back to California this Christmas to spend it with part of my American family, and I'm just very lucky and very privileged, as are you, to live on a life where we can get on an aeroplane, and at the other end there will be people we love, and so that's where I'm at. I'm in a good place of acceptance. And as much as I'm sad about my friend, I understand that there's a rich tapestry of life. And it's that very same tapestry that saw me move to America and play on a radio show in Sherman Oaks with a presenter and her husband who would go on to become family. And I have to appreciate the tapestry of life at the same time as understanding the inevitability of death. And 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 you know, I'm going to a funeral tomorrow of a loved one, and I accept it. I accept it as being the end of a good life, a life well lived, and and it's my duty, as it is yours, to savor every day we have above ground. Um, this is every day's a blessing. So the location doesn't really matter. I'll love you just as much as here as I will do in Maine or in LA. So, but yeah. So the plan is in December to fly out to Seattle and then work my way down the West Coast. Like I said, you're the first person I've told this to, um, and it's exciting. I've never been to Seattle and I've never been to Portland, and
Me
some of
either.
my was my probably my favorite album of all time was made in Portland, Sparkle and Fade by Everclear, and Seattle, the home of Soundgarden and Nirvana, and Elliott Smith was also resident in Portland, and
Pearl
Pearl
Jam?
Jam?
were, were they Portland or Seattle?
No,
No,
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh, okay. And yeah, so it's exciting, and I'm playing at the. I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think it's called the Blue Moon Tavern or the Blue Moon Saloon in or the Blue Note, something blue, and I can't hear you now. By the way, you're.
Can
Oh,
you hear me
no,
Can you hear me now?
now I can.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I'm doing that, and I've got some talented local musicians sharing the bill with me, and then I'll go down to Portland, to Reading, to San Francisco, and regardless of if I have a show there, I'll probably swing by Monterey, and because it's beautiful and I love Monterey, and
Right.
then I'll be back in the LA area um, at the end of the month, and then hopefully I'll play there and San Diego. So
So do you
So
know
do you
when
know
you're
when you're
flying
flying
into
into
Seattle yet?
Seattle yet?
Like
Like
well,
a date
it'll
range?
probably be. I'll probably land around the 14th. So December 14th. Um, that's when I think I'm going to be flying out. I can't see you though right now. You have disappeared.
Okay. Not sure what happened there, but hopefully he'll come back on.
I'm back.
Gotta
Gotta
love
love
the
the internet
internet
connections.
connections.
Um, I'm sat next to the best place I figured I could get reception.
That's
That's
exciting.
exciting.
Yeah.
We're doing
We're
like
doing
a
like
round
a
the
round the
world
world
thing. I
thing.
swear
I
to
swear
God.
to God.
Last night
Last
we had a
night we
band
had
from
a band from
Chile,
Chile,
No
and
way.
now
and now we've got
we got you in
got you in
England
England.
Awesome. Well, it's
worldwide.
Worldwide.
I love I love seeing you blossom, and I mean I always have done, but I continue to admire the fact that there is not a venture you won't try out, and it's that spirit, that attitude that I think is so great to see. Because of course you had your makeup your makeup line, was that correct?
I was in the
I was in the
process of doing
process of
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and you know, about 1,000,001 other type
Yes.
avenues of your agency. But yes, it's been it's also been great since the pandemic. When I came back here, they were really strict actually, and you had to house quarantine for 10 days, and they actually sent someone round from the hospital to knock on the door and check that you were there. It was it was intense, um, and then places started to open up. And when I flew out to Sweden last month, I didn't need to show my vaccination passport anymore.
Wow.
So it's slowly getting back to something resembling normality. Um, Although I dare say the Queen's funeral could be another one of these super spreader events,
Oh
just by
God.
virtue of the amount of people. I mean, there are people just herding together um,
Wow.
to come and pay their respects. So,
I got
I
COVID
got
for the
COVID
first
for the first
time
time
a week and a
a
half
week and a
ago.
half ago.
oh,
2.5
Two and a
years,
half
never
years,
got it.
never got it.
Lived in Los
Lived in
Angeles.
Los Angeles,
Never got
never
it.
got it.
are you better now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been over it for almost a
almost
week.
a week.
I got it
It
in.
wasn't as bad as I thought it was
Yeah.
Oh,
Gonna be.
gonna be.
it was shitty enough for me.
I think
Um,
it's
I
because
think
I
it's
got
because I got
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
I
If I
did
hadn't,
If I
too.
hadn't,
it
I
would have
think it would
been
have been
worse.
worse.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
You know
mean?
got
what
I got it in January, and the first day was pretty horrible. But after that, um, the thing that annoyed me about it was I lost my singing voice. Um, so yeah, it sort of settled on my chest. But I was yeah, I was lucky for a long time. I didn't get it in LA. I got it in Windsor.
I got it
I got
So
it
here
here
from a
from a
family
yeah,
family
member
member
that I live
that I
with.
live with.
how mean. But no, it, you're going to get a bug at some point, aren't you?
Of
And
Of
course.
I
course.
got I got all vaccinated and
I got a
I got a
booster
boosted, and
even.
booster even.
Yep.
yeah, I did too.
Probably a
Um,
Probably a
variant.
variant.
but
Let's play
Let's
some
play some
music.
music.
let's do it.
I want
I
people to
want
see
people to
how
see how
wonderful you are.
wonderful you are.
Bless you.
I already know
I
you're
already know you're
wonderful.
wonderful.
I want them
I
to
want
see
them to
your
see your
amazing
amazing
music.
music.
Brilliant.
I saw that
I
you have
saw
a new
that you have a new
video.
video.
Yes,
World
World
Beyond
His
His
Feet.
Feet.
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that like
Is
your
that
most
like your most
recent
recent
that you
That
have
you
out?
have
is
out?
from my new EP, Wake to the Morning.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful!
wonderful.
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited.
I got it.
I got it
YouTube
YouTube
all
all
pulled
pulled
up.
up.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you
make
There
sure
I
you
guys
am.
guys
are
are
subscribing.
subscribing.
Mr. Blue Suit.
Internet. That's alright. We're gonna play some music.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All
Alright,
everybody.
everybody.
Baz
Baz
Francis.
Francis.
The song's
The
World
song's World
Beyond
Beyond
His
His
Feet.
Feet.
Debuting
Debuting
here
here
on
on
Wicked
Wicked
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
Sweet grandmother's arm hold superstition from me. For all the warmth in her heart, that's cold in my condition. And if the walls of her home could carry memories alive, how could I ever have known? That's not the situation. So I wanna know just how many
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Woo.
Woo.
I like how you had
I
the
like how you
bare
had the
feet.
bare feet.
Yeah, I'm glad you noticed.
That was
I-
awesome.
That was awesome.
I suffered for my art, walking around dodging stones in my feet that day. But yeah, I got away from the park where we filmed that, and I thought, oh great, it's a wrap, it's a wrap, and I'd lost my wallet on the shoot, and I was like, oh, this is not a good end to the day. So I went into the nearest town to cancel my bank card when I got a message from a stranger saying, have you lost a wallet today? And this lovely lady called Lindsay Polson, big shout out to Lindsay, she had picked it up and agreed to meet with me and returned it, and I got it back. So
That's
that was
That's
wonderful.
wonderful.
very sweet of her, and the day was able to end as well as it had gone up to that point. But yeah, it was the weather was starting to get a little fresh around the time, and that was filmed, and also it was early in the morning, so yeah, the bare feet thing was not as comfortable as it might have looked.
I like your
I like your
tattoo.
tattoo.
Thank you, thank you. I've had it retouched this week, so
Looks
um,
good.
Looks good.
thank you. I went to get a little work done on it, and I got a new one here as well.
Oh,
Oh,
That
I
is
like that.
last
like that.
week. That is a Cheap Trick lyric,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's a good message of hope again. That lonely is only a place, and what you can do if you are lonely is move on from that place. More
New England
New
internet.
England internet.
New England internet. I was just saying that if lonely is only a place, then you can always move away from that place and go close to someone that will fill that void of love that you currently have. And as someone who travels a lot, I think it's good to appreciate the goodness the unique goodness of everywhere you go, and that way you're never lonely. No matter where you are, you're always close to someone that you care for. And I've been very fortunate in the last year to experience that feeling, as I explained before, in America, in the Czech Republic, and also Sweden, England, and Finland. So that makes me a pretty lucky boy, I think, in terms of a guy feeling appreciated by his loved ones.
I
I
feel very
feel very
fortunate
fortunate
myself to have
to have
friends around the world.
world.
You are, and it's because when you do these shows, you do it from a place of love, and you invest so much of yourself, and people do appreciate it, the right people at least, and they don't like you because you're a radio show host. They like you because they like you, and I think that's all you. That's you have made yourself appealing for the right reasons, and some people would try and use their sway to try and influence people into liking them. Hey, if you like me, I'll I'll be able to get you nice things. But you don't. You're just very direct and good. So that's why I have friends all over the world.
Mamena.
Main.
We believe
We
in
believe
being
in being brutally honest,
Yeah.
upfront at all costs,
and just
and
be
just be
ourselves.
ourselves.
I don't
I
believe in
don't
being
believe in being
fake.
fake.
If you don't
If you
like
don't
me,
like me, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
I
I don't care.
it's too time consuming putting on
Amen.
an act.
Yes.
And and I have to say, everyone goes, "Oh, were they really fake in LA?" And it's like,
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
they could be fake in any town. The
Yeah.
worst ones are actually around here, where there's this snobbery, and they look down upon you, and there's a two-faced nature to people within the English suburban middle class neighborhoods that is far more insidious than anything I witnessed in Beverly Hills. So, and a lot of my best friends I have met in LA, and might be Angelinos or long-time residents of the place. So, yeah, don't believe all you hear about LA. And
No.
if you want
A
an
lot of
honest
There's a lot of good
opinion,
people out there.
go to Maine.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do you want
What do you want to play next?
Did you want to
Be a
play
good
one?
song.
Oh, a favorite song of mine.
Yeah, what would you
What
want
would you
us
want
to
us to
play?
play? What do you want us to showcase to the public?
Oh, okay. Um, well, I've been updating my YouTube channel, as you've seen there,
Yeah.
and I think since we mentioned them earlier, why don't we have another Magic 8 Ball song, and I'll let you pick which one.
Let's see. I
Let's
have
see, Don't Let Me Go On.
Keep me
Keep
out
me out of the
sunlight.
sunlight.
Come
Come
get
get your kicks.
Um, yeah, let's have Come Get Your Kicks.
Okay, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Baz
Baz
Francis.
Francis.
For all the things you said in so
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
Did she
Did she
seriously
seriously
bite
bite your nipple?
Yep. It's all. I said to her, Zara DeRose, she is a professional dominatrix. I said, listen, don't go easy on me. Do as you would to one of your clients. And
Slide
over the face.
and yeah,
That was
she's a
awesome.
friend
That was
now
awesome.
actually. So I hold no ill will all these years later. But
You asked
You
for
asked for it.
I asked for it exactly, and she was great. She is great, and
She's hot.
she is indeed.
Damn.
And the idea behind that video was to do something that, because I'm sick of rock and hip hop videos where you have these women paid to knock on the guys and they're like acting all cool and arrogant. It just is so boring, and I like the idea of me playing one of those dicks, and the woman is unimpressed by that and ends up beating me up for bragging and running off with my car keys. So if people thought that that was about my pleasure, then firstly, they don't know me very well because I can't take pain in the slightest. And secondly, it is actually a feminist statement about what, well, about why it's always wise as a gentleman not to brag about one's prowess to a strong woman, for said strong woman could be a lot stronger than you and a lot more deadly in heels.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, but no, I'm not into S&M. And I remember my mum, she came round to visit me that night after the shoot, and I was in my dressing robe with the bite mark on my nipple, and I was having my dinner, and my mum said, "So how did the shoot go?" And I said, "I didn't like it, Mum. She hurt me." So, um, yeah. And then like I get people say to me, "Oh, I bet that was really sexy." It's like, trust me, I suffered for my art more in that one than just wearing bare feet. But what it's a great video. Ollie Edkins did a great job of it too, behind the camera.
Really good song.
And thank you very much. And that was produced by myself and Dave Draper, who I'll be working with on my next singles, as I did on my last EP. And it's nice to be working with him again. And I've also been uh, collaborating with him regarding the Wild Hearts, as I mentioned earlier. So, and Dave Draper, he's he's great. So again, I'm very pleased that I get to work with great people on both sides of the pond, and I'm obviously still good friends with James Meader, who co-produced the Mansion Harlots album. So I look forward to
Nick.
seeing him again soon. Um, if you haven't done so already, check out his work at Peak Recording. He's based over in Echo Park and is a very skilled gentleman.
Should
Should get him on the show.
You should. You should.
Feature his stuff too.
Yeah, he's, aside from being a great producer, he's a great singer and guitarist and songwriter.
He's a
He's
nice
a nice
person
person too.
And a nice person, hence why I'm friends with him.
He's a good guy.
Mm.
Let's see.
What do we want to play next?
Well, as it is me talking today, and we're talking about my solo work at the moment,
Right.
why don't we play my, well, not my last, but my second from last solo video, Don't Let Me Go On.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Right there.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's cue
Let's
it up.
cue it up.
All right,
All
gonna
right, gonna
enjoy some
enjoy some
Baz
Baz
Francis.
Francis.
Another record broken, no tea and sympathy. Inside the coldest season, what burns inside of me? I'm always broke down, I'm always broke down, down. To tell a different story than just sit up the same. Although it pains to tell you, some things will never change. And I'm always broke down, I'm always broke down. Love comes in many shapes. So if you wanna talk, I might not waiting for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there might not be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. Preach to the empty seats when the people go away. Adventure is in color, your skies are always gray. And you always rain down, you always rain down. I kick the bucket over, it always seems to be when there's a rotten apple, I fell out of the tree. And I always come down, I always come down. Love comes in many shapes. So if you wanna talk, I might not wait for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there might not be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. No one said it was hard, but the spoon in my mouth had rusted long ago. I thought I'd let you know that if you wanna talk, I'm not waiting for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there'll never be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. Don't let me go on. Don't let me go on. You don't let me go on. Don't let me go on.
I like that.
I like that.
Thank you. I think that was the first song I ever played on LA Talk Radio.
I remember.
I remember it.
And I remember JJ liking the bass on it, and us having a conversation about George Clinton.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Parliament
Psychic
Path.
Was
Was it
Funkadelic.
Funkadelic?
Funkadelic.
There we go.
But I'm more of a fan of Parliament than Funkadelic. But it's now all one. He goes out on tour as Parliament Funkadelic. So, what a body of work. What a
Oh, yeah.
body
Oh,
of
yeah.
work. I am, but yes, I'll have a full tour schedule in due course for December, but it's the idea is to go. Sorry, changing subject to my gigging plans. The idea is to play down the West Coast between late December and early January. So USA, we shall have our day very soon. And if you can, I'd love to see you there.
I'd like
I'd like
to
to
try to
try to
plan
plan
that out.
that out.
I'm going to be back in Los Angeles on Christmas Eve at this rate. So that's the game plan. That
I'd
is
like
the
to
game
do
I'd
it
like to do it because
JJ's birthday is
December
December 27th.
27th.
I would love to
So
spend
I'd
that
Like
with
to
you.
kind of.
Yeah, no, I these things take planning. That's why we're talking about it in September, because they don't just happen like that. You have to put some forethought into it all. But our hour is nearly up, isn't it?
Yes, but we can
Yes,
play
but
at
we can
least one
play at
more
least one
video.
more video.
Let's do it. Let's have Russian ballet.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Alright,
Hell yeah, we're gonna play
Russian
Russian
ballet,
ballet,
Baz
Baz
Francis,
Francis,
and
and
Wicked
Wicked
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
Now I think about it every time. About my winter clothing at the thrift store in the village where the story began. Right on time when I traveled to the Brooklyn line, following the Indian to where the people go and maybe gather around. Because if time waits for no one and nothing's for free, then I know what I've gotta do. And if Annalisa says it must be true, that the world could owe it all to you, but it may take a little while to possess the thing of which he's in denial. When you do it with a little bit of style. Everywhere that I go, I'm like a millionaire. This Kingdom Forest station, just as long as I can get myself a ticket to ride. Power's down and there's only 7 people hanging round, but one of them's illuminating every day I spend. I'd like to do it again. Because if time waits for no one, then don't wait for me. 'Cause I know what I've gotta do. And if Annalisa says it must be true, that the world could owe it all to you, it may take a little while to possess the thing of which he's in denial. When you do it with a little bit of style, yeah. Now I'm back in St. Petersburg again. If I know what I've gotta do, and if Annalisa says it must be true, that the world could owe it all to you, but it may take a little while to possess the thing of which is in denial. When you do it with a little bit of style. And I'm back in St. Petersburg again.
Hell yes.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that was a
that
good
was a good
song.
song.
Thank you.
Can you
Can you
please tell
please tell
everyone
everyone
where
where
they
they
can
can
find
find
you?
you?
Like
Like
website,
websites,
social
social
media,
media,
music
music
You
sites?
sites.
can find me on Instagram as Baz Francis and the number 8. You can find myself and Magic 8 Ball on YouTube as youtube.com/ I love Magic 8 Ball, all spelt, no numerical figures. You can also find Magic 8 Ball on Facebook with I love Magic 8 Ball, and you can find my solo work and stuff related to me musically with Magic 8 Ball and Mansion Harlots as facebook.com/ Baz Francis Music. I'm also on Twitter as Magic 8 Ball 8, the number 8. I could be wrong, but Baz Francis is on talking about myself in the third person there. I am on Twitter, and various other websites: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Pornhub. Okay, not the last one, and SoundCloud.
Yes.
Please
Please
support his
support his
music.
music.
Subscribe to his
Subscribe to his
YouTube
YouTube
page.
page.
Follow him
Follow him
on
on
social
social
media,
media.
Instagram,
Instagram,
Twitter,
Twitter,
Facebook.
Facebook.
Like his
Like his
stuff,
stuff,
share his
share his
stuff.
stuff.
So we
So
need to
we need to
support local
support local
music as
music
well
as
as
well as
music
music
around the
around the
world.
world.
That's the only
That's
way
the only
this
way
is going
this
to
is
get
going to
better.
get better.
It
That
is.
we just
We just
support
support
and
and
support,
share
share and help
and
each
help
other.
each other.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much
for being
for
on the
being on
show
the show
today.
today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
And I
And
miss
I
you
miss
very
you very
much.
much.
I miss you too.
And
We need to start doing more regular
We do.
video chatting
We do.
on
Messenger. We
We
just
got
got
to
to coordinate it
because of
because
Yeah.
of the time difference.
This is a good time, and let's throw around some ideas for December as well. So,
I'm down
I'm down for that.
all right, darling.
Yes,
Please go see him
play
play
all
all
over
over
the
the
West
West
Coast.
Coast.
Be
Be
watching
watching out for his
dates
dates
and
and what venues.
And
And then support. Go see some
shows.
shows.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Very
Very
exciting.
exciting. I'm glad
to
to
see
see
you
you
coming
coming
to
to
the
the
United
United
States.
States.
And then
And then we will be coming to visit you
in the
in the
UK,
UK,
hopefully
hopefully within the next year to 2 years.
Perfect.
That's my plan.
I can't wait, darling.
I'm
I'm not excited about an 11-hour plane trip
or
or whatever it's going to be.
Oh.
But I will do it for you.
Oh, I love you.
Well, I love you so much.
Please
Please be safe.
You too. Give my love to JJ.
I will.
I will,
Definitely.
definitely.
And
And hoping to see you December, January.
Yes, I would love that more than anything.
Well,
Well, thank you so much to Baz Francis
being
being on our show today. I will repost this video later on in the day also, so people can see it.
And
And
then,
then
thank you
thank you guys so much for watching Wicked Entertaining
on
on Rock Rage Radio.
Sody
Sody Music Entertainment,
iHeartRadio,
iHeartRadio,
all
all
kinds
kinds of other sites.
uploading
Uploading videos to YouTube regularly, so be checking it out.
Get
Get Real Global TV. I love you so much.
I love you too. I gotta fly. See you later, darling. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.